All right, what is up, everyone? It is your boy Shizeman21, and for this video, I'm going to be talking about the whole thing going on with the massive layoffs that's going on with the tech jobs. Especially the big ones. Like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, all types of stuff. So it's gonna be kind of like a bigger like discussion on this because there's something that I'm in like the interested in the field and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't normally talk about this because this is like on the other side that I do like outside of just like nerding out on some like anime stuff and whatnot. I am also a tech fan. Like I am like very huge on just like technology. You know what I'm saying? Like just prestige amount of technology from like you just like the GPUs, like whether or not that's like working right, and just technology in general. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just like tech jobs, man. I've been thinking about like getting one at some point, especially since now I've like essentially graduated from college with a degree in like computer information system. It's just like it's a little tough to like get into, especially now because of just like the huge layoffs that's been going on for just everyone in the tech industry. Because yeah, for example, like Google or just its parent company, which is called Alphabet, has like cut like 12,000 jobs, I believe, and just like that's been going on. Amazon has like also cut off like 18,000 job positions, and then Meta, which is also a parent company of Facebook, has pretty much laid off like 11,000 people, and it's also going through some like not so great situations with its economic situation because I think it's like it had a bit of an opposite effect with that, where it's just like instead of being like a net positive, it is a net negative, where it's the product and I think the stocks for Meta went completely down. So even though like I guess Mark Zuckerberg himself, like the founder and the maker of Facebook, who spent like a lot of time, making Meta and whatnot, a big thing, it ended up flopping, not like really really badly, and like it's not surprising, but yeah, the guy, as much as he is a genius himself, like when it comes to like certain things, even with the technology and stuff, he can be a bit of a weirdo sometimes. And also same with Elon Musk too, where it's just like they have contributed quite a lot to what has been going on with technology. And again, I have nothing but I commend them with the the stuff that they were able to do with technology. It's just like as like a person or whatnot, it's a bit it's a bit hard to understand at times. Even as someone that's like who's on the autistic spectrum, it's just like it's a different ball game. But otherwise, yeah, it really does suck. And just like the overall impact that the massive layoff has is like for people again with the associate's and bachelor's degree or of computer information system or other related computer degrees, it has been taking a huge, tremendous toll on a lot of us because we want to be able to make a ton of money from doing stuff like being at tech or whatnot, and for that to happen where it's just like more than like 10,000 people have like lost their jobs or just their specific jobs are like getting cut off because of just this really big massive layoff that's been going on, and it's a sucky experience, man. It really is. And then just on top of that, just always like having this like comment stating that you will never get a real job, like the only like job that you really are gonna be is like Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever. It's silly at times too, man. It really is to like get like comments like that on a daily basis, even as a nerd too. But it's just what really sucks the most is just like sometimes they don't even let you know that you're being laid off. And like you would think that you're still doing a good job, or maybe it was just that one day where just like cut your hours and whatnot. Of course, I'll get to that in a minute, but it's just like you know they don't really tell you that you're like getting fired until it's like way too late, and then it's just like you're getting this like big massive layoff where it's just like it really does affect on you. And heck, God forbid, it's just like that's the only like income or resource that you have, which is like get into a tech job, and like all of a sudden you're getting laid off, and how are you able to pay bills or pay for a family if that's like your current situation? Like that's gotta really suck sometimes. So it's like it really does suck to work at a tech job, man, because like you never know that at any given moment you'll just get fired, and it sucks, man. It really does. So like just and that like leads into just like dealing with the after effects of like such a big massive layoff, where it's just it's never really easy to cope with having to lose a job, or especially if it's like such a big job such as like a tech job like that. If you like you just like put your whole livelihood into like put in hours of making sure that the company's running smoothly, only to then just like get cut off and stuff, it could have some like repercussions on your mental health, where it just like feels like, man, no matter how hard I try, it just seems like it's never good enough, and that sucks. And that actually does apply for any job, that's not necessarily just for a tech job. It could just apply to anything really, but it's just like, especially when you're working at tech, whereas it's just like essentially you're either just like sit down and try to like reprogram just a lot of things on the computer, or if you have like I'm trying to think here, heck, even if it's like if you're doing it with an old computer, that's like a different story too, because a lot of us may not necessarily remember much of like how like coding was back then. So it's just like even if let's say they had something like that, it'll just be like even a lot more difficult. Shit, coding already is difficult enough to like do, especially if it's like you don't have like a um, good understanding with like math. I still struggle with that, and I'm okay or decent with it sometimes with math. But man, with C++ programming or just anything like Java programming, it's cool and all. But man, coding can be quite a bit of a challenge for a lot of people. But otherwise, I'll talk about that another time with the Java and stuff. But just dealing with just the overall effect of a massive layoff like that can just be, traumatic at times. Because you just want to be doing something else other than wanting to like go work at like a fast food restaurant or a retail job or stuff like that. You're just like thinking like that's just not what I want to do. But sometimes life honestly doesn't really quite care. It just like forces you to like be in positions you don't feel comfortable in doing, and just coping with it in ways that's like different is like understandable. But it can suck sometimes too, depending on the situation. Like drinking, party, or actually, do we even do parties? Since most of us are technically like introverted nerds or whatnot. I mean, I guess maybe like on Discord or forums or whatnot, but just the way that we like cope about these like losses is, you know, it depends. It could be a good thing, such as like maybe just sit around play the game and just like try to like get your mind, like sharpened for a lot of things, which I haven't done in a minute. Maybe I should start doing that. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, just dealing with these after effects of like a massive layout can suck. Or not really. It depends on the individuals that are dealing with that. So Yeah, it's a it's an interesting situation. Now, for me, when it comes to like jobs and whatnot, um, I don't currently work at a tech job, but I did work briefly at McDonald's for a bit for like I think maybe a month or just a few weeks and stuff. And it was a interesting experience, I would have to say, like having to work at like a fast place, restaurant where it's just like, you're constantly at your feet all the time and there's like plenty of surprises that could happen and you gotta order this, you gotta order that. And sometimes you even have to play well not managerial role, but like what's that role where it's just like janitor role. Sometimes you gotta like play janitor role by like clean up the place a bit too. Which there's nothing wrong with, but it's just like if it goes to the point where it's just like restrooms and stuff, I'm like, okay, shouldn't that be a janitor's job? This is, but I don't know. It just depends on where you're from or whatever like job that you're like going for with McDonald's. But otherwise, it's just like, yeah, it's a interesting experience. But I started noticing like few weeks into like when I was working, I started noticing that my hours were getting cut off, especially on specific days I'm supposed to work because, again, I do like a normal 9 to 5 day, you know, 3 days per hour or 3 days, yeah, 3 days per hour or whatnot. And like when I noticed that like one of the days that I was supposed to work at, you know, um, it ended up like getting like cut off completely, and like I guess it was like a subtle sign that I'm about to get fired or whatnot. But even then, it's like I thought it was like a Thanksgiving thing, I guess, where it's just like maybe it was just like this one time, since like, I was new to that, it was just be like they just want me to like at least like take a day off, and of course I worked the other day, but then when they started to like cut off another day, I was just like, wait, why are they cutting off another day? And I was like, okay, yeah, it was just not great. And that really sucks whenever like a company does that, especially when they don't like give you like a heads up notice that hey, some of your hours are getting cut off or whatnot. It'll just happen when you least expect it. You're just like, wait, what? So like that's kind of what happened with me, where it's just like the hours I was supposed to like work at, like the days hours were getting cut. I was like, damn, that really does suck. Cause like, you know, say if I were to like live in a space where like, I had to like pay bills and whatnot, that would just be like it would feel like a massive fuck you to my face. Whereas like, I wouldn't be able to like afford enough to like, you know, pay the bills on time, and yeah, it would just suck. So it's like, whenever they like cut off hours, it's just like, ugh, it like ticks down your money a little bit more. But otherwise, yeah, it wasn't really good. But as a matter of fact, yeah, uh, as we're gonna like transition here, it's for this one, I put like the overall experience with working at McDonald's, so the pros and cons. So I'll start off with the pros. It was a good experience, I would definitely say, especially since I am naturally more of an introvert. Having to talk to a lot of like strangers essentially was quite a lot of fun. I was able to make quite a lot of like pretty good established relationships with some coworkers that were like absolutely amazing. I was pretty cool with the manager. I was essentially like just like overall experience, just for the pros was mostly pretty good. Like it wasn't like so bad where it's just like ugh. It was like hated. Although there's that one time with that stupid trash bag situation that happened. That one I'm like, but otherwise it was a okay experience. It wasn't so bad for me. Like, especially since it was like my first time. Like actually, like doing all this, and I was like, being helped by some very wonderful coworkers that were, very wonderful people. It was just like, I felt welcomed. I felt safe for the most part, and it was it was pretty chill. It really was. Like I don't have like nothing else bad to say about that other than just like, hey, I had a pretty good time, except for maybe that time with the trash or whatnot. But otherwise, yeah, it was pretty good. Now the cons, there's been a lot of cons sometimes, especially like cutting off the hours. Sometimes I have like dealt with like customers that were just like pretty weird at times. I've also had like kind of a interesting fun encounterment with the homeless man doing the absolute most, and just all types of like just interesting weird stuff, and just yeah, it definitely felt a little unsafe at times, especially. Actually, I won't get into too much on that, but other than from what I've noticed from like when I worked over at the McDonald's and stuff, yeah, the security there, yeah, no, there was like no like active security going on with that, so I'm just like, ooh, that would like really suck for a lot of people for that, but otherwise it was just yeah, there's no protection essentially, and yeah, even though I definitely felt pretty comfortable around people, I definitely felt sometimes a little like weary and sometimes unsafe there at times. I don't know, but again, like all I'm saying is just like just this is just from my experience, you know. any Anybody else's experience can be drastically different compared to mine. It's just that I dared myself to like wanted to try out something out of the blue. Like of course, for a very long time when I was even a teenager, I didn't ever want to do this. But lo and behold, I decided fuck it. I might as well see how it works. For the experience, I got the goods or the bads, and that was it. And the only thing that really struck out with me that caused me to like not continue working there is again my hours getting cut off. Like when that started happening, I was like, okay, yeah, I can't deal with that. Like that's just not the thing. So that's why right now I've been working as an independent person, doing my thing, especially now as like a full time content creator. And again, it's not a really easy task to like do because like I really want to do something else, like maybe work at a tech job and whatnot. But again, but what's been going on in the world, it's just like it's a lot going on, man. Which is now we're gonna like get to like this thing to do, which is what to do in the meantime. I mean, just again, like I said, with what's going on in the current world right now, it's tough, man. It really is tough to be out here, doing your thing, because like there's a lot of bullshit that's constantly going on. There's just lots of noises, and sometimes it just feels like you don't want to like keep it going. But the thing is, we have to always like keep going because even if it feels like we're not like getting close to our goals, we are. It's just that we don't really see it because at the current moment, it just feels like we're just constantly just you know doing back and forth. We're constantly going back and forth with a lot of other things, but it is very important that you just like keep it going because you know eventually you might land a job that you might like. Eventually you might end up having a successful career. It's just you gotta like learn to bet on yourself, and that's something that I'm currently doing. Is I'm betting on myself, and it's not an easy task, but it's better than nothing. Because if I didn't bet on myself, I would just be caught just right now sitting on my ass and not doing absolute jack shit, and that's exactly what I probably would be doing. Except the thing is, I want to do something, so I'm better on myself. I'm being a full time content creator, and even though it's not paying me yet, it's still like a lot of people are paying attention to my stuff, and I think my phone is about to go off. So let me double check real quick. My bad, y'all. I just had to check my phone real quick because I have alarms and stuff to remind myself on a lot of things. So I had to get that going. But yeah, just what I just want to leave you guys off with is just no matter what, you could be at a job that you really like, especially if you're like a tech nerd like me, like if it's like you want to work, like let's say for example, you want to work at like Facebook or Twitter, and it's just like something that you've been wanting to do, and then all of a sudden you get like a massive layoff because companies do their weird shenanigans at times with that. So it's like, you know, it's a tricky situation with that sometimes, but it's just it's weird. It really is. But all I will say is just actually yeah. Let me just keep it going. And like, yeah, you get laid off because of reasons, and then you come home and you're like, man, what the hell do I do? And then like maybe let's say you been like put it off like doing certain amount of content about like I guess like maybe playing video games or fuck it just being a musician, and like you decided like give it a try even though it's been quite some time, and even though you have some initial success but also like not so great successes here and there, you just kept it going, and like eventually let's say your song that you like release on your own without like any contract to sign up with like does so well that it like ends up like breaking mainstream, and now you're out here like going to like countries or worldwide, touring around the world and just like having a good time. You just like be thinking, man, all of this happened because a job just like essentially just like laid me off because of a lot of reasons, and here I am. And that's how exactly how I feel. Like ever since I stopped working at McDonald's and started to, or just ever since I just like really essentially just like didn't think about like wanting to like go back to a job or whatnot necessarily, and just like really bet it on myself when it comes to like stuff like content creation. It's just like, yeah, like I said, the money is not there yet, but it's like I have so much enjoyment just being a content creator, just like creating something that is going to be resonate with a lot of people. And I've been doing very very well as of lately. I just feel like I had this like bit of a renaissance of a career where it's like I have like pretty much reinvigorated myself because like I've been doing this since again 20 like 2016, and yeah, 2016 I've been doing content at least like fully on YouTube since again 2016. And like I've had so many ups and downs, and even had some like moments where I just completely stopped doing like content altogether because I got burned out from just wanting this like instant gratification to like become popular or whatnot. Whereas now it's just like since last year I have slowly become bit of a rising star. Not like on some like levels like my peers like for example like Kai Sanat or Aiden Ross or anybody else really, but it's like I'm getting there. I'm like almost there. I just need some more, I guess, more exposure, I guess, to a lot of things, and I'll get there eventually. But I'm just taking my time on here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like um, doing anything differently, but other than just I'm expressing my art, I'm expressing who I am and my desires to like you know do things outside the box and all types of stuff. So it is very very important to always like bet on yourself because you never really know. Maybe that job that didn't want you ends up like calling you again, and you may even get it or decide, you know what, I've been doing well with what's been going on with my own situation. I don't really need a job. Stuff like that. But again, like it just depends on what you decide to do. Again, it is very, very important to always get bet on yourself. Because again, you never truly know until you give it a try. Because you never know at any given point, just by doing stuff that you thought, you will never do, you end up like doing something more amazing afterwards. I mean, I didn't realize that I would go right back to being a content creator, and I'm doing a lot more amazing now than I ever did, from school and also going to work and stuff like that. So it's like, I didn't expect that, taking the time to be a time content creator and doing like stuff that I really want to do has been a tremendous blessing for me. So it's like it's always important to at least give it a try. And if it ends up not working out, you can always go back to the drawing board and maybe even try something entirely different. And who knows, maybe that might stick. So maybe instead, like, let's say if you failed at one point, like, a job, but you decided, like, try something else that's, like, entirely, like, different. You never know. It may end up working out. So it's just like, you just gotta, like, at least try out some things other than what you know. And you never know whether or not you're gonna like it or not. But anyways, I think I've pretty much said what I said there before we start getting a little redundant about what I've been saying. All I gotta say is again, better yourself, take care of yourself, and we'll get through this. You know, us tech nerds. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you guys have like any question on you know technology or just anything else like that, we could definitely like talk about that because like I definitely want to start talking a little bit more about other things, than just anime. So if you guys like, hold on, so sorry here, been having some allergies here, so trying to like deal with that a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, if you guys like have like anything going on with like technology or whatnot, and we can like have a discussion on that, then we can definitely do that because I definitely want to talk about something else other than again anime. So anyways, I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go ahead and as a matter of fact, after this recorded, I'm gonna go ahead and edit this tomorrow, and yeah, I'll probably be able to just release it maybe on Monday, and yeah, that's gonna be it. And then who knows, maybe on that day I'll record another Weeb Talk episode and stuff, but we'll just have to see. For now, I'm just doing my thing, just recording at night and just having a good time with that. So I hope you guys had a little like fun time, chatting up with me, and yeah, I'll see you guys later or whenever I decide to come back onto YouTube or any social media to discuss about things and ramble on about Elden Rings for the 50th time. So we'll see. Anyways, hope you guys have a good night. I'm about to go ahead and get a good night's sleep too. You know, I remember like the saying goes where it's just like, good night, don't let the bed bugs bite. I guess I could definitely say that to you guys too, if you guys don't mind, Hey, good night, and don't let the bed bugs bite because you never know. They might suck you off. I'm just playing. Oh man. That was a weird joke. That was a weird joke. Anyways, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go to sleep because my eyes are fucking tired. I don't know if it's like red or anything, or maybe, yeah, a little bit. So fuck it. I might as well go to sleep. Anyways, this is your boy Shazman21 signing out. I'll see you guys later. Hope you have an amazing night, amazing day, or whatever you guys are watching this. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Was I about to say another episode of We've Talk? Anyways, I am too damn tired. All I gotta say is good night, everyone. I hope you have a great day tomorrow or whatever time that you guys are gonna be watching this. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Um, like my outro every single time. Peace, love, and positivity to all. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. Boom! Ow.